Hi, Sophia. It's so nice to see you today. Thank you for coming in to visit me again. I wanted to ask you, are there any updates or things that you would like to talk about today before we get started?
I don't think any updates, no.
Okay, sounds good. Is everything going well at the domestic abuse shelter with your
Um,
situation?
yeah, I mean, as good as it can be, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how are you feeling in general with the
Um,
situation?
I guess I just feel a little like scared. Um,
Yeah.
and I just want to make sure that my son's okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely very validated feelings. And for your son, I know he's in great care.
hmm
So I hope that continues to go well. And if anything doesn't for some reason, feel free to contact me and let me know. For today's visit, we're doing a little bit more of assessment. So there's going to be some questions that are more in depth concerning like your history or current circumstances. We have what's called a biopsychosocial approach to our assessment, and it's just basically asking more personal questions so that we can better equip, it'll better equip us to help you in your situation. Um, and there's just like a little bit of information I would like to confirm with you about your situation right now, if that's okay. Lucas is the name of your current boyfriend, correct?
hmm
And he is the father of your son, Sam, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And is it correct that Lucas has an addiction to alcohol and can be violent sometimes
Yeah.
when intoxicated?
hmm
Okay. And I have recorded that one night when he was drunk, he accidentally pushed you down the stairs and you blacked out for a few seconds. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah, I do. That happened, like a few weeks before we left the house.
Okay.
My son and I left to go stay in the abuse shelter.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was, you would say, the situation that caused you to go to the abuse shelter, correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's right. Um, could you explain a little bit to me of how the incident made you feel with Lucas when that happened?
I guess I was just like very scared, um, and maybe a little bit angry,
Mm,
and I just want to make sure that my son's okay. So I just was unsure of what to do, and yeah, I think that's why I kind of panicked and then left because I didn't know what else to do.
yeah, I think that's a natural response to a situation like that.
Mm.
And it's definitely a very challenging and emotional situation to be in. So I admire that you were willing to think about your son before yourself and just figure out what the best option was for you. And I'm also thankful that you're in a place that's safe, um, that you can just begin to process everything and figure out next steps for yourself and your son.
Mm.
Um, so, another follow up question on the situation, was this the first time something like this happened? And if not, could you briefly describe um, a situation where it happened in the past?
Yeah, it happened back in January. Um, he was drinking like a lot, and then that was the first time he hit me. But then now, whenever like our relationship is like not doing well, he gets more violent when he drinks. So,
Yeah,
hmm
yeah. So there's been a little bit more of a pattern
hmm
since or before your current situation
yeah,
of him becoming violent.
hmm
Okay. Um, and the domestic abuse shelter, were you currently aware of it? Or did someone recommend it to you when you left the house?
I knew about it. I didn't think I had another option. So,
Okay.
yeah, I just heard about it. So then that's where I went.
Yeah, that's good.
hmm
I'm glad that you did. It's definitely a safe place,
hmm
and I hope you feel that way as well.
hmm
From the information I have, is there anything that you would like to add to it, or even take away from it that wasn't correct?
No, I think that's everything.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna get started on the assessment, the biopsychosocial assessment that we have here.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down your name, Sophia Gates, case number, and your date of birth is 12/13/2000. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the date is 10/4/22. All right. And what would you say is the presenting problem currently?
I would just say like my son and I left our house because my husband was my boyfriend, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We were gonna get engaged, so that's why I said that. But he abused me because he's addicted to alcohol.
Okay. Are you currently involved with any other agencies in the area?
No.
No other agencies? No. Okay. And could you tell me a little bit about your family?
My mom, her name is Beth.
Okay, Beth.
And my dad, his name is Steve. And I don't really talk to them anymore though, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you explain to me a little bit of why you don't talk to them anymore?
They became like really religious, like they were Christians, and they tried to force that on me, and I didn't really want to.
Okay.
So then they didn't approve of my relationship with Lucas, so I just kind of stopped talking to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about social activities? Are you involved in anything? Not
No.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who would you say is your biggest support right now in life?
I would say Lucas before all of this stuff happened. And then I have a friend back from like high school that but she was kind of far away, so.
Okay. Do you get to contact her every now and then, or?
Yeah, we like talk every week, basically. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And she's someone you feel safe around to go to problems and situations?
Yeah, she knows everything about
That's
all
good.
the stuff, so.
That's very good. All right. Legal, I'm going to put that would you consider yourself a victim of domestic violence in your own words?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your education level, did you graduate high school?
Yeah, I just have my high school diploma.
Just high school diploma? Okay. Alrighty. And are you currently employed or have?
No, I'm just a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. Would you say you have hopes of employment in the future?
Yeah, that's not really what I'm thinking about right now though, so maybe, but I just want to make sure that my son's okay.
Yeah, most definitely. All right. And for your finances, do you have, I know you're not employed, but your income and expenses, was that taken care of by Lucas? Or do you know about them?
I don't know anything about them. He just took care of all of that, so.
Okay.
I don't have any money.
Alrighty. And for environmental concerns, I am going to put down domestic violence in the home, if that is accurate. Okay. And when we talk about spirituality and faith traditions, would you say you're not very religious?
No.
Not at all? Okay. Alrighty. Sophia, I can see that you are a very hard worker in your desire to care for your son. You're a very dedicated mother, and being a stay at home mom is a really hard job. And I think you've done that well so far, and even your desire to continue doing that is very evident. I think it's also admirable that you were willing to take a big risk for the safety of your son and just stepping into something new like the domestic violence shelter that has a lot of uncertainty that comes with it. And I think that's something you do really well. So just wanted to encourage you with that because the situation you're in is extremely difficult and you seem to be handling it very well. We're now going to enter into our conversation about some medical conditions.
Okay.
I believe I had in the notes that you struggled with some depression and anxiety, and it was a result of postpartum. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. Could you give me the name of your physician?
Dr. Miller.
Dr. Miller. Okay. And did he give you any medication?
Yeah, just like temporary medication, like antidepressants. Okay. Yeah.
So medication that I'm assuming you ran out of and didn't receive any more.
Yeah. No.
Okay. Okay. Did you find that was helpful when you were taking the medication?
Yeah, it did help a little bit.
Okay. Good. And would you happen to know his number? Or the number of the hospital you received care from?
Yeah, it's Lancaster General Hospital, so I don't know the number off the top of my head, but
I will be able to look that up.
Okay.
Perfect. And you said you are not currently taking any medication, correct? Okay. So no side effects. And you don't have any allergies?
No.
To medications?
No.
Perfect. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about some risk factors. It asks if the client is safe at home, and I'm going to mark no for your situation. And would you say you feel threatened in any way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you describe a little bit?
I guess I'm just like scared of him like pushing me again, or for him like hurting my son when Lucas is intoxicated. So yeah.
Right. Okay. And would you say you feel threatened physically, emotionally, sexually, financially?
Probably just physically and emotionally.
Physically and emotionally. And the relationship to your perpetrator is boyfriend, correct? Alright. And there has currently been no legal action taken?
No.
I don't?
No.
Okay. Do you have a safety plan at all if that situation were to occur again?
No.
No? Okay. That might be something we can think about and work through in a later process. And you are in need of shelter. And I'm also going to mark yes that you need protection from abuse order. When considering your depression and anxiety, have you had thoughts of suicide?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. If I gave you a scale from 1 to 4, with 1 meaning none and 4 being extreme, where would you place yourself on that?
Probably like 3.
3? Okay.
Yeah.
And have you had any thoughts of becoming violent on the same scale from 1 to 4?
No.
No? So 1, none. And what about homicide? Have you had Any thoughts of that?
No.
Okay. Wonderful. And when considering that you have some thoughts about suicide, have you come up with a plan for yourself?
No, I would never do that
Okay.
because I don't want to leave my son, but there's just like thoughts that sometimes come into my mind.
Okay. And that's very good to hear.
Mm.
Do you have like any plan to keep yourself safe from that, or next steps forward so that you would avoid that?
Well, I guess the way that I like used to numb the pain was like I would smoke weed, but I can't do that now because I'm in the shelter. So
Okay. Yep.
so it's just kind of bad now because I'm not even on medication, and now I can't even have that either. So
Yeah, I'm hoping we can. I'm pretty sure we put in a request for your medication, and you should be receiving it soon.
okay,
So hopefully that helps,
okay,
and we'll get you on that as soon as possible.
okay.
Okay. And some questions about your mood. Would you say, if you were describing it, do you feel depressed, irritable, anxious, fatigued, angry, or
I'd say all of those.
all of those? Okay. And what about your sleep? Would you say would you describe it as good, fair? Has it increased or decreased, or have you had difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep?
Yeah, no, I haven't been able to sleep.
Okay.
And I haven't been able to stay asleep either.
Okay.
So, like I have nightmares about the abuse, so I just don't like sleeping.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Could you describe, like, are the nightmares what wakes you up in the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say you wake up pretty emotional after them as well?
Yeah, I do.
An emotion of maybe like fear?
Yeah.
Anything else you would use to describe those
No.
nightmares? Okay. And considering your appetite, would you say you have a good appetite? Is it fair, poor?
I'd say it's pretty good.
Pretty fair?
It's stayed the same.
Okay. And have you gained weight or lost weight?
No, it's stayed the same.
It stayed the same? Okay. That's good. And in regards to your memory, would you say it's stayed intact or has it been impaired?
No, it's been good.
Okay, wonderful. And how would you rate yourself when it comes to intelligence? Average, above average, below?
I would just say average.
Average?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, we are now going to move to talk a little bit about your suicide risk. I know you had mentioned it was probably a moderate risk, and we're going to get you some medication, and we're not going to have you smoke weed since you're in the shelter. But we're also, if it's okay with you, I'll contact the shelter about possibly seeing a therapist throughout the day who will just like check in on you and make sure you're doing all right. Does that sound okay with you?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that too. And in regards to violence, your current situation in the domestic abuse shelter, I would say, has no risk of violence. Is that how you feel as well?
No, yeah, no risk.
Okay, good. And then I'm also going to note that your permanent home with your boyfriend has a significant risk, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So just to confirm or summarize some of the things we've talked about, you don't have much support or social involvement. Is that correct?
No, just my friend from high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you pretty much rely on Lucas for your finances.
Yeah.
And still struggling with depression and anxiety, but we're hoping to get you some medication for that.
Yeah.
And I also know that you haven't been sleeping well and your eating has been a little off, but you haven't lost weight yet, which is good. Okay. We're now going to move on to talking a little bit about substance use or abuse, currently and in the past.
Okay.
Starting out with tobacco, have you used any tobacco products?
No.
Okay. And what about alcohol?
Yeah, I do like every now and then I use it. Since I guess 2020, I guess I used it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was something you used in the past?
Yeah.
Did you stop when you became pregnant?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And I it's 3 to 4 times a week, so it was quite a bit.
Was that something you did with Lucas?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're currently clean and have been since January 2020?
Yeah.
Okay. And illicit drugs? I know you smoke marijuana and you would consider that a current thing since the domestic?
Yeah, it's kind of stopped around September.
Okay.
Yeah.
September. Perfect.
And I did it almost every day. So.
Okay. Almost every day. All right. And no prescription drug or OTC drugs, correct?
No.
All right. In regards to marijuana, have you experienced withdrawal at all?
No.
Blackouts?
Mm-mm.
Hallucinations?
Mm-mm.
Vomiting?
No.
Some severe depression?
Yeah.
Okay. Seizures?
No.
And anything else?
No.
Okay. All right. And for your patterns of use, do you feel like you use marijuana when you're under stress?
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say you continue to use it even when others have stopped?
Yeah.
Have you ever lied about consumption?
Yes.
And do you feel like you try to avoid others while using it?
No.
Not really? Have you ever been high for several days at a time?
Yes.
Okay. And do you feel like you neglect obligations when you're using?
Yes.
And would you say you also use more than you intend to use?
Yeah.
Have you felt the need to increase your dosage of marijuana to become intoxicated?
No.
And have you had to try to hide the consumption of it?
No.
Would you say you use it before noon?
Yeah, sometimes.
And can you usually limit yourself once you've begun?
No.
Not really? Okay. And have you failed to keep promises to reduce use?
No.
Okay. All right. Have you had any attempts to stop?
No, I don't think it's bad. I just can't do it now because I'm in the domestic shelter. So.
Right.
Yeah.
And you would say it probably you used it as something that was a coping method during your time of feeling stressed.
Yeah, just kind of
or
numb
anxious.
the pain. Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the circumstances that would lead to a relapse of using marijuana, I think we've slightly addressed some things of Lucas's situation of becoming violent. I know that causes stress. Would you say that's accurate as one of the reasons?
Yeah.
And your depression and anxiety, would you also say that's a reason for relapse?
Yeah.
Any other reasons?
I guess just like stress of being a mom and being a girlfriend, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever been involved in AA or NA?
No.
No? And do you have a sponsor at all?
No.
Assuming not. Okay. All right. This question asks a little bit about what your goals or expectations that I can help you with are, and I was wondering if you could just list a couple of those for me.
I guess I want to get out of the domestic shelter, so I kind of want to get a home for me and my son. I don't know whether that looks like going back with Lucas or getting our own place. I don't really know what that looks like. I want to get back on medication because I want to not be depressed or anxious. And then I also I guess I do in the end want to get a job and a steady income, because maybe in the end I might have to become independent from Lucas. I don't really know what that relationship's gonna look like, so yeah.
And I hope that I can help you meet those goals and expectations in any way that I'm able to. And that's going to be something in the next couple months that we're hoping to work towards. So it's helpful to have those outlined so I have an understanding of what you would like from our services as well.
Okay.
I can see throughout this whole interview, Sophia, that you are just very determined. You show a lot of desire for change, and a desire to change in good ways and ways that will promote health and safety for you and your son. And I think that's a incredible quality, and one that will definitely be needed through a process that's hard to work through and establishing next steps. But I think that will be such a good quality to have as we work together. And I've also appreciated a lot of your honesty. You've been very honest with me throughout this entire assessment. And that's something I really value, and something that we just value as people who want to serve you best. And if you're honest with us, it helps us be able to offer the best services that we can to you. So I thank you for that. In conclusion, because we're wrapping up here, just a couple recommendations for you. I thank you for continuing to stay off marijuana, even though I know it's been hard and it's been something that you've had to give up as a coping mechanism. Being in the abuse shelter, it's not super easy to follow the rules sometimes, but we really appreciate that you're willing to do that. And we will be getting your medication hopefully very soon so that you can start to be on that, and hopefully that takes the place of what marijuana maybe helped with, and that will help you feel better and function better in a lot of ways. And I'm also going to write down that I think we'll continue to have you in intensive care for about 3 to 6 months, if that sounds like an okay time frame for you. I think in that time we'll hopefully accomplish the things that you said were some of your goals and expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that's about all I have for you in this assessment. Is there any other comments or questions that you have for me in this process?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, thank you again so much for meeting with me. I am going to contact you about our next appointment. I have to figure out a couple things in my schedule, but I'll be in contact with you about that.
Okay.
So I
Thank
hope
you.
you have a great day.
You too.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you. 30.
Wow.